Hey folks, I wanted to make a video on how to do fantasy mountains for maps. For games, if you want to play games like D&D, other RPGs, a lot of tabletop games have maps. And if you want to make your own maps in kind of like a handmade style, this is the perfect video for you. So we're going to focus mainly on mountains. I'll do some other videos explaining different parts of the maps. So this is a map you can see here that basically showcases a lot of the different elements that you would have in a fantasy map. And in the center, you can see the mountains. And a lot of these techniques will actually be used in normal media. I generally do pencil or pen. However, I've tried to do digital, and this is obviously what this is. So right now I'll show you just how to do mountains. So I use an iPad Pro, and I generally like the dry ink brush from the default brushes. I haven't really explored too many other brushes, but right now it seems to be pretty okay. So if we're just gonna look at just doing a mountain, I'll do a quick one here, bring the opacity up, and then so this is fine. So to do a mountain, you have to remember that they're very sporadic. So if you look here at this mountain, it's not like this. It's not like this. It's not like this. It's about taking very little sporadic movements to kind of create this jagged, random surface. And if we go back to this now, we look at it closer. A lot of things are very random. So in order to kind of keep that going, we'll do another one behind it. And you want to make them look a little bit different. And then you can have another one behind that, which might be a bit shorter. Then one that kind of goes that. I'm sure there's a lot of people that do geography or geology and that are going to say, oh, your mountains need to be all consistent heights because when, the tectonic plates shifted, they separated equally and then it created this mountain ridge. Anyways, whatever, this is fantasy. You can do whatever you want. So the next part, you can see what I did there is I added these tiny little grooves in the mountain, and it just starts to make it look a little bit more interesting. There's some detail going on here. So we're going to shade them now, and if you just kind of add some detail like that, you just, blend the bottoms in. Okay, and I take a lot of inspiration from Tolkien for doing maps, and I sort of like to do his type of maps. So if we go, anyways, so you once you add these little details and the shading, you kind of get this nice effect of like a shadow. Or if you wanted to add a darker shadow, like in Tolkien's maps, we definitely can do that, and I'll show you how to do that right now. So if we switch back to, we'll go to here. Let's take the dry ink. We'll go with the dry ink, and we'll bring it down a bit. And so these ones, it's more down the middle. Okay, and it looks like I drew in white at some point here, so the Tolkien's maps are very strong on the dark, and so you have it kind of come down the middle. Yeah, I guess I did draw in white at one point. Okay. So you can kind of see if you just add the black here. Or maybe I didn't. It was just being weird. You could get kind of those mountains that look very, very, very strong. And I'll zoom out in a second. And you kind of combine these peaks and make certain parts highlighted. You want to keep some of it highlighted. See there, you don't want to, because it is like a mountain range here, so bring it like that. Yeah. Okay, and you just kind of quickly go over it. And this can all be done with normal pens and stuff like that. It takes a little bit longer, and I've just started doing digital, and I find it's a little bit easier to get exactly what I want. And you can zoom in and save and that kind of stuff. So you can see very quickly you kind of get these nice mountains. And obviously here I did them a little bit smaller. It's a little bit easier when you do them smaller too, actually. And yeah, so you can see that mountains, they can't just be like this or like this. You have to kind of be a little bit sporadic with your movements, and then they start to look a little bit more realistic, because mountains aren't just, circles or just spikes. I mean, you can do that if you want. If you want to just do that, that's cool. But this is how I like to do my mountains. I like to make them look pretty detailed. All right. Hope you enjoyed. Thanks for watching.